What's going on, guys? This is going to be the Week 12 Start Sit podcast. Josh is joining me. We're going to run through all of your questions and give you our take on basically what you should do. So my guy, GOAT_FB, says OBJ, Tony, or Judy in PPR. Do you trust OBJ enough to start him right now?
I have him on the bench in the league.
Yeah,
so
I think
if
that's
that
where he
tells you anything. I mean, I'd like to see him get a little bit more involved this week before I'm, pull the trigger on putting him in the lineup.
So then Tony or Judy?
Tony. I mean, the Broncos just gave Cortland Sutton and
Tim Patrick
some
cash,
big contracts. Yeah. So that kind of tells you how they feel about Jerry Jeudy.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does. I think that means that Judy's under contract for the same amount of time. They just drafted him in the first round last year.
Right.
So that means they want 3 receivers, and I think they're smart for that. And but I feel you. So you think Tony then? I guess what you're saying, Tony over Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense. I think that with those two, I think Tony has a higher ceiling, Jeudy has a higher floor. So I think
Jeudy has a juicier matchup. It's Chargers at home. Actually, I'm going to change. I'm going to go Jerry
Jeudy.
Yeah, I think he's a better play this week.
Okay. I think that's I really think it depends on roster construction because I think Tony has a higher ceiling. I do think Judy's floor is higher. I think that I'm leaning towards Tony if I have to just totally, flat out guess. And the reason for that is because I think the new OC will make it a point to give this guy the ball. Because there's no way, and I think that new OC is Freddie Kitchens, by the way. I think there's no way you can watch Tony play and not think to yourself, we need to get him more involved. Like, he's just so explosive.
He's a polarizing player, or potentially could be.
Yep. Okay, so Crowder, Shenault, or Van Jefferson. It's a 14-man league. I'm gonna
go Van Jefferson.
Yeah, I agree. I could say Crowder there, but I'm gonna say Van.
Well, I mean, Elijah Moore is coming on now, so
right,
or has been, I should say.
We need to see that happen with Zach Wilson, which we'll find out this week.
Yes.
All right, but yeah, I agree with you though. Ty Johnson or Deontay Foreman. I'm gonna say Ty Johnson. I don't trust starting any Tennessee Titan offensive player against the Patriots this week. I just feel like it could be a complete shellacking.
Yeah, I like Ty Johnson solely because Michael Carter's out, and Tevin Coleman, we know what we have in him, and the Dontrell Hilliard could show out and overshadow Foreman in this one. So, with that being said, I like Ty Johnson.
Yep, same. Start 2, McLaurin, Ayuk, Pittman, Elijah Moore, Higgins, or Tony.
Oh my goodness.
He's got some weapons on his squad. Okay, so you're not benching McLaurin, am I right?
No.
Against the Seattle Seahawks. So he's got to be a must start.
Yes.
And then I've called, Okay, so
I like Pittman, but also he has a tough matchup this week.
Yeah, he's going to see a lot of the lockdown corner that is Jamel Dean.
Yep.
So Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elijah Moore against the Texans, absolutely.
Elijah Moore and Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That one was yesterday. I tried to answer those, I swear. Pick 2, Van Jefferson. I don't know why I said it like that. Pick 2, Van Jefferson, Cortland Sutton, or Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle's a must start at this point.
Wow.
Maybe not must start, but
so
he's up there.
Sutton over Van Jefferson then, right?
Yes.
Because I agree with you. Waddle, I think, is...
Yes, Waddle is... I mean, he has been playing really well lately. Tua's been getting him the ball. I like Jalen Waddle a lot to finish the fantasy season.
Yep, I am with you there. Okay, Stevenson or Jacoby Myers half PPR?
I don't know. Stevenson is kind of banged up. I think he got a tag put on him today in practice or yesterday in practice. Yeah, added to the injury report yesterday with a knee issue, getting in a limited session. So, first time that he's been listed with a knee injury all year. So, I mean,
like these type of things are often what happens is the guy doesn't play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird when something like that happens. Like
and if Damian Harris is healthy enough, they could potentially sit Ramondre out in this one. But I still like Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
Just because Damon Harris is back, and now Ramondre Stevenson has a little bit of a knee issue.
Yeah.
So
that's how Robert Woods' season came to an end, by the way. It was just a random in practice, thing. But yeah, I think that I think Jacoby Myers is the smarter play just because I think it's a little bit safer. Because I think that there's a chance that what if Belichick, we've seen this a million times from him, what if he just says, hey, we're gonna dress Ramondre, but we're gonna not really use him. I could see that happening, and just they go all Harris and Bolden. So I would say Jacoby Myers as well.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb, Mike Williams, Jalen Waddle. Sorry, CeeDee Lamb, I missed that one. But Mike Williams, Jalen Waddle. Basically, we're gonna assume he benched CeeDee because he didn't play. So it's Mike Williams or Waddle. Wow. Now let's test your Waddle must start.
Yeah. Right.
Is he a must start over Mike Williams?
No.
You start. Well, then you can't call him a must start.
I know.
He goes, no.
No, yeah. I'm going to say, God, this one is tough because, like I said, Waddle's been getting 10-plus targets over the last 3, I think. So, if I were to rank them, I think I would rank Mike Williams just a little bit higher than Waddle. Not much.
For this week?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Waddle. Oh fuck! No, no, you're right. Mike Williams this week. It's a
good matchup.
It's not a good matchup, but might be a better one than Carolina.
Yeah,
that's so hard, man.
That's tough.
Because I started thinking about their matchups.
I feel your pain. Whoever asked that question.
Denver. I
would honestly just
Carolina,
take.
The defenses,
I would go to your change jar, grab a quarter, give it a little flip, and play whoever it lands on.
I'm gonna say Waddle because I think he has a higher floor. That's my take. Okay, DJ Moore. Oh, Adam Thielen. He said Adam T. Okay, DJ Moore, Adam Thielen, or Gibson. Pick 2 PPR.
Gibson, DJ Moore.
I disagree. I would say Gibson, Adam Thielen, because DJ Moore has his hands full with probably Xavier Howard this week, and that's not easy, especially when you don't have any time to pass, and Cam still doesn't really know the entirety of the playbook. All right, Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris, or Ayuk in full point PPR.
Damian Harris.
Wow.
Especially if Ramondre sits in this one.
Yeah, well, I think we just have to say Damian Harris over Ramondre because we already said how we feel about him, and I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But then it's Ayuk or Harris. Fuck. Yeah, I guess Harris, higher floor. I'd go that route. I think Ayuk's a guy that I'm not super excited about benching this week just because I think he's coming on.
Yeah, he
but
is.
I'm starting Harris over him. All right, Cousins or Mac Jones? Who? I'll say Cousins, man. I think Cousins is basically approaching must start.
Yeah.
And I think Mac is more of a streamer.
Yeah.
All right. Pittman, Ramondre, or A.J. Dillon, choose one.
Yeah, well, if Aaron Jones is out in this one again, it's A.J. Dillon all the way, home run on that one.
I think it's A.J. Dillon regardless, in my opinion, because I think that we can't just expect Aaron Jones to come in there and have a full crazy workload. And Pittman's going to have his hands full with Jamel Dean, and we already said how we feel about Ramondre. So I think A.J. Dillon's just the best option there, although Pittman probably has a higher ceiling on me because he can just go crazy.
The last 2 weeks, Pittman's only scored 12, 13 fantasy points. So, it's been tough sledding, and he's played Jacksonville and then Buffalo, of course. Now he's got his hands full, like you said.
But he had Trey White
last
week.
And now he's got Jamil.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough matchup for him.
Yep. Okay, Goddard or Muth? I think he means Freiermuth, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I like Goddard in this one.
Yeah.
Eric Ebron is back, so I think that kind of eats at a little bit at Muth, but obviously Muth got in the end zone last week, so that clearly didn't matter.
Yeah, they drafted him in the second round.
But yeah,
I think he's there playing, and he's playing well. But
I like Goddard.
I think Goddard has probably a little bit of a higher floor, and Muth, as you call him, has, I think, a higher ceiling. So, whatever when you need more, I would go that route, but probably leaning Goddard as well. All right, Brandon Ayuk or Gronk? I'm going Ayuk.
Yeah, I like Ayuk. I like Ayuk.
All right.
Like you said, he's coming on strong as of late.
Yeah.
So, potentially look for him to continue on that.
I think he's going to continue. Yeah. All right. Pick 2. Barkley. Okay, so Ingram, obviously he didn't play. Barkley, Patterson, Mitchell. Is Mitchell
Mitchell's
playing?
out.
Yeah,
No.
he's out, right?
Eli Mitchell,
then I
I'm
guess-
assuming.
Yeah, it doesn't say, but I'm assuming as well.
Pick 2?
Yeah, so I mean because Ingram didn't play, it's Barkley, Patterson.
Yeah, and those are good plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have said that probably anyways. So, all right, let's see. Elijah Moore, or Tony.
Elijah Moore.
You're not benching Elijah Moore for anyone
And
that's not
It's
like.
tough that Zach Wilson's back this week, so it could hinder his productivity. But if I were to rank the guys, I would definitely pick Elijah Moore over Tony.
Yeah, right now you have to.
Yep.
All right, Ayuk or AJ Brown. My guy Keesler Lawrence. Definitely Ayuk, man. For me, AJ Brown's playing the Patriots. He's gonna get J.C. Jackson / he's gonna just get locked the fuck
Yeah,
up.
I mean, he's definitely trending down as of late. So
you just don't start it. If you can avoid starting an inconsistent receiver that's a top option on his team against the Patriots, I think you do so.
yeah, I mean, they're starting to shadow him a lot more now that Derrick Henry's gone. So they're like, okay, who's their next best player?
Absolutely. It's another reason why the theory that running the ball does not help the passing game is just ludicrous, because A.J. Brown was eating in one-on-one situations. Now, teams are not worried about your run game, so there's no more one-on-ones because he's the top guy. Plus, Julio has been basically injured all year. And, yeah, I mean, so I'm starting Ayuk there. That was the option, right, Ayuk? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ayuk.
Okay, Brandon Cooks, Judy, Elijah Moore, or Freeman in my flex. Jesus.
Brandon Cooks has got a great matchup this week against the Jets.
He does have a great matchup, but fudge. What is has Cooks been going off lately? I don't have any shares of him, so I don't know exactly. But
I mean,
it's hard for me to bench Elijah Moore. Is the reason why I'm asking, because Elijah Moore has a great matchup as well.
He's got 59 receptions for
What is he
659 yards and 2 touchdowns.
What
So
about the last couple games, last 2-3 games? Because I'm really
last game he had 2 for 18.
I'm going Elijah Moore. That's all I need
And
to
then
do.
they had bye, and then the week before that they played Miami, and he had 14 targets, 6 receptions for 56 yards.
Yeah, I'm going Elijah Moore. I think that teams are they're making it tough now because they know that he's the only guy they really have in Houston. I mean, he really is the only guy.
Yeah, I know, but they have a cake matchup this week at the Jets.
Elijah Moore's the wide receiver 1 over the last 6 weeks, wide receiver 2 over the last 4 weeks. He's been just super consistent. I can't bench him.
Yeah, but if you were to rank them this week,
Elijah Moore.
You would rank Elijah Moore higher.
Yeah, I would. But I understand going Cooks there.
I mean, good matchup.
We didn't even touch on Judy or Freeman, but I think that it's really between Cooks and Moore. That's why. But I would rank Judy ahead of Freeman if you're curious.
Yep.
Joe Burrow or Cam Newton?
Cam Newton.
Yes, he's going to run the ball. I said a minimum 13 times last week. He ran at 10. I'll say he's going to run a minimum of 10 times this week. And
yeah, he's got a cake matchup.
He might have.
I mean, obviously Miami is
I don't know
right now.
It's cake.
Maybe
but
not cake, but it's an easier matchup than Joe Burrow against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, with Watt and Minka back.
Yes.
I agree. But I would definitely go Newton there because I think his legs are just going to make the difference. All right, Pittman or Thielen?
I've been high riding with Pittman all year. I have him in 4 of my 6 leagues, so I'm going Pittman. I don't give it.
So you don't even care he's playing Jamel Dean?
Yeah, I mean, with that, and he's better than anyone on my bench and anyone on waivers.
I'm going Adam Thielen. I gotta Thielen has just been so.
I mean, he's got a better matchup.
He always does because Pittman is their clear wide receiver 1, whereas Thielen is the wide receiver 2 in Minnesota. So he gets the benefits of a lot of times playing against the second best corner on opposing defenses, and they have Dalvin Cook. They have that run game, so teams are going to give him one-on-one. He's going to eat. That's why Kirk Cousins, 21 touchdowns, 2 picks this year.
Yeah, I mean,
21 and 2.
I think they're both top 15 receivers this week.
This week?
Yeah.
Pittman?
Yep.
With Jamel Dean just draped all over him, holding it all? Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson? Brother, that's not even a question. You can't start Russell Wilson at all right now, in my opinion. And it's not to say he might not go off this week and then next week you start him. I get that. But this week we can't do it until we see him play well. And Kirk Cousins, as I just mentioned, 21 touchdowns, 2 picks. He threw 350 and 3 touchdowns, I think, last week against the Pack. It was like he's been doing that shit. I mean, he's a guy, the Panthers allow like 175 yards passing a game. He threw for 330.
Yeah.
You know, like Kirk Cousins to me is a must start, basically, if you have anyone else in your quarterback discussion that's not like a lock to start. You know, like I would start Kirk Cousins this week over Matthew Stafford, and I have Stafford in multiple leagues.
Yeah, I like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Elijah Moore, Thielen, or AJ Brown. This one's tough. I'm not starting AJ Brown, but I'm not sure if I want to go Moore or Thielen, because I think Thielen might have a higher floor, to be honest. As weird as that sounds.
I'm gonna go Thielen in this one, like you said, because I think he has a little bit higher floor.
Yeah. Damn, that's hard as fuck.
And if I were to rank them this week, I think I would rank Thielen a little higher than Elijah. But I mean, it's just tough with Zach Wilson coming back.
Yeah, I think
Elijah.
I would go Thielen. Yeah, I'd go Thielen. We've seen Thielen do this for 4 or 5 years now. We've seen Moore do it for 4 or 5 games, so we'll go Thielen there. All right, Adam. I'm assuming this is Thielen. You just said Adam. DJ Moore, wide receiver 2 behind Jefferson. Man, I don't like the idea of starting Jefferson and Thielen. You got to be a Vikings fan.
I'm starting DJ Moore.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I'm not going to start both Vikings receivers.
No.
I would look to, if it's not past the deadline, I would look to trade one of them. Preferably Thielen, because I think Jefferson's going crazy right now.
Yes.
Do I trade Najee and Ayuk for Kamara and McLaurin? McLaurin.
No, you don't trade Najee, especially if you're in a PPR league.
And Kamara kind of scares me as far as
they don't
what's
even
going
know if
on
he's
with him.
gonna play next week.
Yeah.
He should have been out on IR essentially. It's been out 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's getting closer to that. And now they don't necessarily, at least if it's like this for another week or two, they don't necessarily have the luxury of, they might just put him on IR for the season if they keep losing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they don't want to, potentially rush him back out there and, him injure it majorly.
Right. This guy says, what's his name? Charlie Ellsburned. He says IPA or whiskey?
Whiskey.
Yeah. IPA's too.
I mean, I like a hazy IPA, but they're just, you drink 3 or 4 IPAs and you feel like you ate a freaking 10-pound turkey.
Yeah,
And
you're going to sleep.
They just make you super full, and they might get you a little drunk. But whiskey,
much easier to get.
Yeah, you get that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. So yeah.
I agree. Chubb, Saquon, Bateman, or Higgins?
Chubb is a must start.
Absolutely. The funny thing too is I remember this guy. He's been around for a long time on these parts. He's a Browns fan. That's amazing that he would be the one asking that question because yes, you're starting Chubb. Maybe he just wanted to hear some Nick Chubb love, and that's
yeah.
why he did
Well,
it.
you can get all the love you want because Nick Chubb's a fucking stud.
Yeah, and Saquon, as much as I love the guy, I don't even like the idea of starting him right now. It makes me sick. I know last week I told people to start him against the Bucs because I was like, oh, Saquon's back. He's got to be healthy. We're starting Chubb, and we're absolutely starting. But like, just generally speaking, if Chubb wasn't in this equation and you said Saquon, Bateman, or Higgins, I might not pick Saquon. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I'm just so, of course, now that I'm saying that, he's probably gonna go crazy this week. But I think the floor is so low. He did have 6 catches last week, so I guess I can cut him some slack. But anyways, Cousins or Burrow? Definitely
Cousins.
yes. Ayuk or Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt.
Wow.
Yes, if he's playing, he's a strong flex play. Obviously, Ayuk is.
No, I get it though. Like Kareem Hunt is, with Baker struggling, they're going to be feeding those guys the ball, Hunt and Chubb. So Hunt, if he's playing, I would have to imagine that he's healthy and that he's going to be.
Yeah, they're not going to put him out there not healthy.
Right, because they have Chubb. They don't have to do something crazy like that.
They desperately need him to complement Nick Chubb because obviously they're not getting much going through the air. So
And he is the guy that catches the passes. They don't
Yes.
really love Chubb as a receiver, it seems like. at
yeah, I
least.
mean, Baker Mayfield could alone have 100 yards passing with Kareem Hunt potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, he could go nuts in this one. So
Yeah, you're saying Hunt could have 100 yards receiving?
Yes.
Basically? Yeah.
Yeah.
Start one in PPR. Damian Harris, Javonte Williams, Bateman, or Gesicki?
Damian Harris.
Wow. I'm going to say
I like Bateman though.
I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. If this was my team, I would do this to Javonte Williams, baby. Let's let it ripping and roaring against what has been one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. If Javonte Williams just has a touchdown, and he's more than due, he's going to be a legit RB2. So I'm going Javonte.
Wow.
Freeman, Mike Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Damian Harris. Man, Devontae Freeman's getting a little too much love for my taste here to be even in these conversations. So that tells you let's eliminate him. Mike Williams, Ayuk, Harris. Pick two. Okay, good. Then Damian Harris.
Ayuk.
Yeah.
I mean, we like Mike Williams, right? But
I don't love him, but I understand how somebody would.
and you want Ayuk to do well because of how bad he's been this year and how high people drafted him. He's starting to come on, so people are like,
He's had
"Ooh."
2 really good games in the last 3, and
Yes.
and one of those games that he didn't, Garoppolo only attempted 19 passes. So on Garoppolo's 21 attempts last week, he caught 7 of them, or he was targeted 7 times. So it's 33% target market share. They're going to have to throw a little bit more this week against the Vikings, I think. And I just trust Ayuk. I think Ayuk's floor right now, believe it or not, is higher than Mike Williams, because Mike Williams will Mike Williams, meaning he'll have a game where he's got 1 catch for 9 yards or 1 catch for 14, and I think that right now we can trust Ayuk enough to get 3 for 30 out of him, and I think so it's a little bit higher floor than Mike Williams. So yeah, Harris, Ayuk for me. Russell Gage, or Odell non-PPR.
I mean, if you can potentially have some fun and just throw somebody in there, I'd like Odell.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has a higher ceiling because
Yeah.
he could have one of those crazy breakout games. I mean, he's had a week on the bye week to learn. I'm going Odell because Gage, his floor is not very high itself. So let's go Odell because he's obviously got the higher ceiling.
Yes.
Okay, I missed that one. Sorry, it was somebody last night. Okay, Matt Ryan or Carson Wentz. That is super interesting because Matt Ryan has failed to crack double-digit. I think he's failed to crack like 6 fantasy points in each of the last 2 games. So I'm not starting him. Carson Wentz, I said earlier or in the previous video, the Week 12 preview, that Wentz is probably going to have to do more this week. He's got 18 touchdowns, 3 picks. I think Wentz can do more, and I think he will. And I think Wentz is the guy I'm starting over Matt Ryan this week.
Who else we got?
You didn't give your take, Matt Ryan or Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz.
Okay. Ayuk or Higgins? That one's tough.
Wait.
T. Higgins is playing the Steelers.
Oh, T. Higgins.
Yeah. T. Higgins is playing the Steelers, so I would say Ayuk, man.
Yeah, I like
think
Ayuk better than Higgins. I think Jamar Chase gets back going this week, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's very possible, maybe even likely. But Higgins has not been incredibly impressive lately in terms of what he's offering for his floor. But I think Ayuk, man, I think their floors are about even. I think Ayuk has a higher ceiling. Elijah Moore, and that pains me to say because I was huge and still am a believer in Higgins, but I think that just it's hard for me to get super excited about him right now. Elijah Moore or Hollywood Brown. He wrote Marquise, but I'm calling him Hollywood, baby.
Hollywood, 100% if he plays.
Over Elijah Moore, huh?
Yep. Absolutely.
That's probably good advice. But man, it's hard for me to say that because we've only seen both of them produce consistently this year, right? So I'm going to go with Elijah Moore, but I wouldn't be mad at you if you listen to him. Jerry Jeudy versus T. Higgins. Jerry Jeudy or T. Higgins, I guess.
God. Jerry Jeudy, T. Higgins. I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy. I think he's got Oh, I guess the matchup's not
great.
not great.
But they might get blown out, and then he might just be like force-fed targets or
Yeah, but also T. Higgins could go off because how many targets has he gotten in the last couple of games? Like, I think last game it was over 10, well over 10.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Or if not,
I'm gonna say Higgins. I give a slight edge to Higgins there.
Yeah, I mean, like if you were to rank them this week, you would put T. Higgins maybe a little higher than him.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit, not like it's not.
Yeah, I mean, he started the year out on fire.
Yeah.
T. Higgins did. So I mean, obviously, he hasn't lived up to some expectations, but
But he had the injury thing, and that kind of ruined his momentum. But yeah, I would go him over Judy this week. All right, McLaurin, Elijah Moore, or Patterson. McLaurin for sure.
Yep.
All right, Travis Kelce bye week. Who should I pick up? Uzoma, Everett, or Njoku in full PPR? Uzoma for me. I think that's.
Where was the other one? Everett and who else?
Njoku.
If Conklin's out there, I think you need to pick up Conklin.
I wouldn't be against that myself, but
I don't know
out of these three,
there,
I'll say Uzoma out of these three.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. Michael Pittman or Tyler Lockett?
I like the upside in Pittman more than I do Lockett and the way Seattle's playing right now. So I'm going Pittman.
I mean, because here's the thing, that the interesting part about this question is Pittman against Jamel Dean, floor-wise, is very low.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Lockett against anyone, floor-wise, is very low. However, man. So if who has the higher ceiling? Let me ask you that way. Which one has the higher ceiling? They both hit their optimal outcome this week. Pittman or Lockett? Whose ceiling is higher?
Pittman.
Wow. So you must not have the respect for Jamel Dean that I thought you had.
I mean, I do, but I also think that Pittman's going to get his just because he's a good player, and they're going to probably be coming from behind, so they're going to have to pass.
Maybe. I mean, they're a hot team right now. I don't know. But I would say Lockett, man, because I think his ceiling's a little – if you talk about true ceiling, like Russell Wilson throwing those moon balls and dropping it perfectly over the defender's outstretched hands into Lockett's fingertips into the end zone.
I need to see more out of Russell Wilson before I can be confident.
My justification is both guys have a shit floor. So that's a possibility with either one. And Lockett, I think his ceiling is a little bit higher just because of Pittman's matchup this week. You guys know I love Michael Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
Just matchup-wise, I think, dude, Jamel Dean, he is so physical. So big guys like Pittman are especially going to have such a hard time with him because he is like, I'm surprised. If Jamel Dean were playing in Anthony Brown's shoes in that Thursday night game or the Thanksgiving night Cowboys game, he would have been called for 8 pass interferences because he is extremely physical. But I'm going to say Lockett for that reason. All right, Devontae Freeman or David Johnson?
Devontae Freeman.
Absolutely. Okay. OBJ or Devontae Smith? Bro.
Devontae Smith.
Absolutely.
All the way.
Yeah, definitely Devontae Smith because, we're not going to even.
You're not benching Devontae Smith, especially against the Giants.
I think the only one the only Odell question this week that I said Odell for was either him or Russell Gage. And the reason I said Odell on that one is because, same thing with the Lockett-Pittman thing, both of those guys have shit floor, so you might as well go with the upside. But in that case, definitely going Devontae Smith because he's been awesome. I mean, even in an offense that's not been throwing the ball a ton. Like, imagine when they start throwing, if they ever have to throw the ball a little bit more just because of game flow, Smith might go nuts. You know, he might have some huge games. So, but yeah, that's going to be, and by the way, like, you want to talk about what Russell Gage's floor is? He had it in week 10, just 2 weeks ago, 0. A big fat donut. He's done that twice this year, too. So if you see, twice, you do that twice, I can't trust you. Anyways, that's gonna be it. That's all the start sits. Do you have anything you want to add, like start of the week or somebody that you're higher on or anything like that?
Start of the week this week for me is my boy Mark Andrews. Cleveland is giving a ton of points up to the tight end position, and him alone against Cleveland, he's feasted. He has 5 touchdowns in 6 career games against the Browns. So my start of the week at the tight end position for sure is Mark Andrews, especially with Lamar Jackson out. I mean, he's going to eat. Who's your start of the week?
You know, so I don't know about start of the week, but somebody that I think that I just want to reinforce some confidence into if you're lacking any is Miles Sanders. You know, I think that Philly ran the ball 50 times last week. They've run the ball. It's like they're averaging, I have it right here. They're averaging over 43 attempts per game over the last 3 weeks. So it's like, yeah, over 43 attempts per game. So in other words, Sanders came back last week, first week back from injury, carried the ball 16 times. I think that he's a guy that, yeah, he didn't produce a high number of fantasy points for you last week with the fumble and no touchdown or whatever. But to me, I think you should feel very comfortable firing him up as a very, very high-end flex play at worst, and to me, a top-tier RB2, like high-end RB2 kind of is where I see him.
He's got a great matchup this week against the Giants.
Yeah.
They have they've allowed 7 running backs to score at least 13 PPR points in the last 6 games. So
just so you guys,
that's pretty much what you can put his floor at this week.
Yeah. I'm not quite that bullish on him, but I will say I just if this makes any sense to you, I know that Seattle, the last 3 games, only allowing 3.4 yards per carry against them, right? So what I just did in our league, Lay, is I took Antonio Gibson out of my lineup and I put Miles Sanders into my lineup. We'll see how that pans out, but that's just to tell you, you have to play the matchup when things are relatively equal, and I think that Sanders and Gibson in terms of workload will be relatively equal. I just think that Sanders this week has a better matchup. And also what they're doing makes, like what they've been doing lately, I just feel like his floor is probably a little higher than Gibson's, because, I mean, they're running the ball 45 times a game, basically.
Yeah.
Like they're just pounding it away. So, yeah, I would go I would feel pretty comfortable starting Miles Sanders, and then where was it? There was a quarterback I liked this week that maybe some. I can't believe Jeff started
Kirk
Dawson
Cousins.
Knox against me.
You like Kirk Cousins this week? 100%.
I like Kirk Cousins every week at this point.
Yeah, if you he's top 5 quarterback this week, I think.
I don't like the idea of starting Joe Burrow all that much at all.
No.
Even though Herbert went crazy against the Steelers last week, I don't think Joe Burrow. I just like the Steelers know Burrow better. First of all, Second of all, Burrow. I just feel like things could unravel and he could start throwing. Like, he's thrown 11 interceptions. I think that's second or third most in the NFL. Or tied for that. But I don't love that idea. I could see Burrow going crazy. He had a pretty big game against them on just 18 attempts. In the first time they played, he went 14 of 18, averaged 9.5 yards an attempt, 3 touchdown passes. But he did throw a pick. And I think with TJ Watt, Minka back, I think this could be those Steelers. As you guys know, if you watch the prediction pod, I mean, the Steelers, like, I predicted them to win that game, and I predicted it to be a low-scoring game. So, obviously, if that's my take on it, I wouldn't start Joe Burrow. So, that's just kind of how I'm doing it. I also wouldn't start Matt Ryan. And, yeah, someone I would also consider starting Carson Wentz if you are in, a certain type of situation where you have to you have to stream a quarterback or whatever. And I don't like starting Matthew Stafford this week. I'm starting Cam Newton over Matthew Stafford. I think I need to make that clear to you guys. In our league, starting Cam over Stafford because I think that Stafford, there's a decent chance, maybe not a certainty, but there's a decent chance Stafford goes in there and just puts up a clunker in Green Bay.
Yeah, he potentially could because Green Bay has great defense and Cam Newton, I think, has a better matchup.
The equalizer with those legs. Yeah. I don't even Cam's just going to – I think he's gonna at least run the ball 10 times. That might turn into 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's it. I think that's all we got for you guys in this one. You all set with it?
Yeah. We will wrap it up here. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave your comments in the comments section, your last-minute start-sit questions.
Don't leave them in the subscribe section. That always fucks us up.
Yeah, it does, every time. But, yeah, comment your start-sit questions last minute, last second. It doesn't matter. They'll get answered before kickoff games on Sunday. So we will catch you in the next one.
All right, guys.
Peace.